What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and right now we're going to be talking about the new Madden 21 title update. I got a lot of feedback from you guys. Some of you guys are raging uncontrollably. I understand all of that. I pretty much want to go ahead and go over some of the things that are involved with it as I show you some of the updates that we were able to make to the team. On the left side, you're going to see that Marvin Harrison is there, and the reason that I bring him up is most of you guys were complaining about the fact that you can't catch the ball. All right, dudes are like, yo, listen, Gmia, what did they do to the patch? You know, obviously the ball is still going through people's bodies, so that part wasn't valid. They've added other abilities that make it so now you actually have to have an ability to be able to run commit properly or pass commit properly, which is starting to get a little ridiculous and outrageous. And you know, I hear your feedback, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys some opinions about that. So pretty much what's going on is this, right? I don't think that it's any coincidence that all of a sudden your players are dropping wide open passes. Why is that? We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about a lot more. Number one is this, right? It doesn't matter that they can't catch the ball wide open because you don't have an ability to make them do it. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of you guys are kind of missing the point. Everything is ability based in the game, right? So because of that, that's going to be a major factor in the way that everything happens going forward. So everybody has to understand those situations before they think that, you know, it was just a bad patch. For instance, let's break down a couple things, right? If you go through the patch notes, some of you guys would have noticed, right, that it said that they had to patch Enforcer. Now, I laughed hysterically when I heard that they were patching Enforcer because Enforcer was already broken. And when I say it was broken, you don't really force fumbles the way that you should in the game off big hit animation, so nobody really drops the ball. For instance, many of you guys that are watching this video right now are like, yo, I hit stick Lamar Jackson and he trucked me. And it's like, at first, when you hear it, it's like, are you serious? But then if you play the game, it's real. Like, the dude is out there running around like Bo Jackson at quarterback and just jump kicking dudes and keeping going. EA Sports is well aware of that. That's the way the game was released. Some of you guys bring up real-time stats. Oh, he didn't fumble a lot last year, so that's what it is. Let me just let you guys know something. I rage sold Steve Atwater because I hit stick Lamar Jackson and he brushed it off and kept running for 6. So I realized what was going on. So the reason that I bring that up is EA Sports is like, yeah, we had to patch it because it was causing too many fumbles. So this is another determination that we have to understand. The feedback that they take is usually by people that don't know what's going on, right? Because if somebody said that Enforcer was causing too many fumbles, that person was playing, they were playing challenges on arcade. They weren't playing head-to-head mode. But EA Sports didn't verify it, that it was actually an issue. They just went with it. So already the Enforcer that we've been spending training on that was not working, they continue to make it worse. So I pointed that out in the video. I said that Enforcer was ridiculous. How are they nerfing something that's already nerfed? It makes no sense at all. I definitely said that, right? As far as the catching goes, right, we're going to talk about that right now. So I have Marvin Harrison, and many of you guys sent me numerous clips. Yo, Gmia, the dude's wide open. He's not catching the ball. I'm like, bro, do you have the ability to put stickum on your hands, dude? Like, look, bro, everything is about abilities. So when you start to evaluate what EA is doing here, many of us are just going along and finding ways to get training, finding ways to do this, that. So EA is like, we got him. You see what I'm saying? Like, what else? What do you want to happen if you're just going to go out there and keep getting training and updating the cards and everything is an ability? I keep telling you guys, it's like Marvel Avengers Madden. Because like, abilities make the players superheroes. But now it seems like we're at the point where we're just like, you know what? Take your abilities and leave. Like, we don't even want to deal with it, because now what you would have to do to kind of make sure that your players were going to be able to catch the ball is you would have to go with gift wrapped, right? So now look what happens, right? If you get gift wrapped and it still does not work, EA will then say, you know what? Maybe we'll give you your training back and then we'll tune it up. But they could argue that you don't have gift wrapped, so you're not supposed to catch the ball. And then how do you argue that? Because you've already been running around, like myself, putting abilities on that we know don't work. Conductor obviously works because, you know, whatever. Fearless works. But I'm just talking about other abilities as far as rushing and stuff like Ripper and Swimmer. They're all garbage. None of those work, dude. Like, the players are not doing anything. If anything, they're just sitting around, you know, waiting for something to happen. They're not really doing anything. So a lot of the stuff that we have been doing as players of the game, we've been actually promoting what they're doing. So because everything is an ability, what stops them from making you be able to turn on your console? You have to have an ability. At some point, that's what the argument has to be. Why are you guys making everything an ability when very few players can get abilities? That means that the other players are not going to play according to the way that they're supposed to if I don't put an ability on that player. That doesn't make any sense. All right. Last year we thought it was bad. They've gone above and beyond ridiculous now. Okay, because now the pass commit and the run commit feature, that also requires an ability for them to shoot the gap properly. When a run commit is just like, yo, you're just sending everybody, why does somebody need to have an ability to be able to run commit? Again, those are things that we need to address. It's not all about the gameplay, you know, being terrible. It's about other things that go on within the game. Because like I said, looking at it happen, the first thing that I said to myself was like, all right, does the dude have gift wrap? And most of you guys that sent out clips didn't have gift wrap. So that's an argument, because remember, realistically, if you want to go realistic, a lot of players in the NFL drop wide open passes. So EA Sports can defend themselves along those lines and say, you know what? They don't have an ability, and we've been giving abilities out like it's candy to kids, and they know they're supposed to have an ability, so it doesn't matter that it doesn't work. They can do that. You know, that could be their argument, and then they don't got to fix nothing. Also, with Enforcer and the lack of fumbles, they could keep that the way that it is too, and just say, look, based on the feedback, you know, dudes are saying that it was too many fumbles. I don't know who's giving that feedback. You know what I'm saying? Probably somebody that has no, bro, they're probably dudes that play Mortal Kombat and never played Madden, but that's the people that they're getting the advice from. And then the number one factor that I want you guys to be aware of that is very, very concerning to me is who was playing the game before the patch is released. Because if you visit, this is what I'm saying. I'm trying to understand it because I have to be able to explain to you guys the way that I'm feeling about it so we're all on the same page. If you are playing the game, you have to try out certain things, right? I would assume you have to try out certain things and see, like, you know, does this work? Does this work? What's going on, right? The thing that makes me very, very aggravated about everything that's been going on since Madden 16's patch is that it just feels like they're not trying anything out. If you go back to old school gaming, when a game was out like Zelda, Mario Brothers and stuff like that, you guys noticed there were very minimal bugs that were happening because they had testers that would, you know, sit there for hours on hours on hours. Even like more recently, God of War. You know, I played through that game several times. There's not a lot of, bro, there's very, very minimal bugs that you might see. It's not something to where it's like, all right, because they have people play the game. So if you have people that are playing your game and they're using Enforcer, right? How do you then think that Enforcer is OP when it's not causing any fumbles? So those things are what's letting us see now that they're not really playing the game. They're just listening to people that are writing ridiculousness, and it doesn't matter. So everybody that's complaining about, oh, yeah, I can't catch the ball, I can't do that. This is what's going to happen, right? They say they're going to be addressing it very soon. Depending on what happens, they may revert the patch back to what the game was prior, but that wouldn't benefit everything because it also helped out with other aspects of the game. So that can be a determining factor why they don't just revert. They'll probably leave it the way that it is and then tune the catching to make the players catch the ball better because of the outcry. Now, that is a problem for me, but at the same time, if we are going to still go get abilities for run commit or pass commit, we're part of the problem. Because we have to do that to compete. The game itself is so, it's very chaotic right now because even if the abilities worked, it's very, very expensive to be able to do anything. It costs an arm and a leg to just get a guy powered up to an 88. So based on the determination of what's going on with the patch and everything that's going to be going on, and you guys are, you know, I'm giving you guys the insight into it. The biggest thing that went on was that dudes were dropping wide open passes. People were upset about the Enforcer, but that wasn't really something that was brought up. Meanwhile, Enforcer is expensive. You got to pay for that. But people weren't really worried about that too much because they're like, yeah, you know what? It was already nerfed, so if they nerf it more, who cares? But that should be a factor because we're still spending training for it. And they shouldn't say that it's supposed to do... Well, even with the writing of it, that's also... I think they wanted to tune it down based on Pat Tillman last year. They don't want as many fumbles. So when you look at the writing of what it says, it just tells you that it's going to guarantee you the fact of a tackle. So with the hit stick and everything like that, that's pretty much what it's doing. It's just guaranteeing you the fumble chance. You know, guaranteed tackle after hit sticking ball carries. So it doesn't say anything about a fumble. We just got a lot of it with Pat Tillman, and we got excited about it. So that's pretty much what a lot of the argument is, because it doesn't say it in the description, so it doesn't matter. That's pretty much where we are with it. It's like, all right, you guys are saying that this is supposed to happen, but no, it doesn't have to happen. You know, that's pretty much what is going on with this whole segment and what they're doing with the abilities. They can write it however they want, and we can determine what it once was, but they can have it like, yo, that's all that it is. But when we look at it, the bigger the hit, the lesser the chance of a fumble, which is absolutely stupid, but that is what's actively going on. So those are just some of the things that I wanted to point out about the patch. Whether they fix it, whether they don't, it doesn't really matter. You guys are going to probably go into Good Morning Madden and get 5 training and be happy about it, and then not talk about it ever again. Like, bro, here goes the giveaway. Get this 7.5 training right here. You know what I'm saying? Not 7.5K, just 7 individual training. And dudes will just shut up and walk away. A lot of you guys gave me your price for training. It was very, very low. Pretty much very alarming to me what it would take for you to walk away. But it doesn't really matter. This is the era that we're in right now. This is what we're doing. And we're just going to have to find ways to get better. And that's pretty much it. Because for me, I already know what the game is. I've been dealing with it since the first patch that destroyed Madden in Madden 16. I'm ready for whatever, dude. I can't even rage anymore. I'm just trying to find out ways to get better. Let me know what you guys and girls are thinking. I'm going to keep you guys updated with anything else that comes out. You go ahead and have a great day. Until next time, one love, y'all.